This is Sunday's Mood with Geronimo Gonzolaz.
Good evening. That's San Francisco.
Okay, good morning, guys. This is Sunday the 8th of January. We've got a couple of news stories we want to talk about today. We're going to take a little bit more relaxed approach this morning. Take it easy, sit back and drink your coffee, and enjoy the smooth jazz. So, the first story we're going to talk about today is a VR machine that has been built for the Superman VR headset game that's come out. So, I've seen a few plays of this. It looks fun. Have you seen this, Gonzalez?
No, I haven't seen much of it, no.
Have you seen this? Have you heard of this? So they've built this this contraption that you can kind of lay on frontways, which will kind of exercise your core and your some of your arm muscles and a bit of your back, and apparently quite good for keeping your vertebrae straight. It's probably quite tiring, but it ties in with the super. I think it's the Superman game, but I think they've probably built their own version as well. Obviously, it's so large that hopefully you can see it on the screen now, guys, if I can find good footage, but it's so big you wouldn't have it at home, I don't think. It costs around $8,000, which is quite a lot.
A good way to get in shape.
It's a way to get in shape. I tell you what, it's a more exciting way to get in shape.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of effort though, when you could probably just sit on the floor for 15 minutes and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Which would be much less effort, to be honest, but more exciting and probably quite good fun. I think it's the movement that probably exercises your muscles, actually. So it's an interesting idea. I mean, to be honest, if there was more of this stuff in gyms, I would definitely have a much more fun time.
Yeah.
The only problem is obviously they've got to keep the headsets clean and have a few different ones with interchangeable whatevers and all that kind of shit. It's a lot of hassle when by the time you actually get on there and do it, you could be fucking done. So if you were going to do this for exercise sake, it kind of becomes a bit pointless, I think, to be honest. But it's a funny idea, and some random rich people are going to buy this at home because they're so lazy that they need to be in a virtual world to do this stuff, and that's okay. Like, I'm not very good at going down the gym on a regular basis. It's January, so I'm trying to do it more. That's relevant to the story, but the point is that you don't need this shit to do this. So nope. I think it's completely silly, but it is funny when people decide this is a good idea and they're going to base their entire business model around a gimmick, an $8,000 gimmick. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of that. I believe you have a story for us, Gonzalez, you'd like to talk about?
Yeah. So Nintendo's share prices are falling after bad reviews of their new mobile game, Super Mario Run. Which is not surprising. I always thought it was a weird thing for Nintendo to get into the whole mobile gaming scene. And one of the things that, like, okay, so this game is, so maybe I'm just an idiot because this game is sold a ton. So okay, well done, Nintendo. But it's like a limited, not very much in-depth mobile game. It costs $10.
Fuck.
It's like again, like we talked about earlier. Like, come on, get into the 21st century, Nintendo.
The fuck? Things don't cost $10 on the phone. Do you know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. But it does, and
it's supposed to be free.
Yeah.
And then you
free
trick
or
everyone
like $2 or $3.
Yeah,
$2 or $3.
Okay.
So yeah, Super Mario on the mobile. It says here that it's been downloaded more than 37 times. So I guess in 3 days.
37 times?
No, 37 million times.
I think you said 37 times.
Oh, yeah, I probably said that.
Great, isn't it?
Well done, Nintendo.
Well done.
But yeah. So it's still selling a lot. But it's like, man, just like an average mobile game, $10 really.
They seem to fall into this trap a lot, don't they?
It's I don't know. It's weird how Nintendo don't seem to understand the world that's around them.
But I know it's bizarre, but they never report a loss. Haven't they reported a loss for the first time or something like this?
They're a very solid company.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I know. But what? I almost feel like the ignorance has helped them somehow. But I feel like it's starting to become close.
It makes them different because they don't really care about trends, which is kind of cool as well.
It is.
Like all of their stuff is like completely different from everything else, which is cool. I can appreciate that, and they make.
They're like the Disney of video games.
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. Yeah. In their own little bubble. Yeah. But it's interesting. I have played Super Mario Run because I'm like, fuck that. I'm not interested.
Fuck that.
But yeah, it seems like it's not getting good reviews. And I'm not surprised that it's selling a lot because it's a very well-known franchise. So obviously, but. Yeah, I hope if they're gonna make these, that they make them actually.
I mean, they should do a little sub-company who are all just like Nintendo fans.
Yeah, and make Nintendo games.
Do you know what I mean? And be like, go wild, make wild video with games for fucking phones. They probably come up with loads of cool ideas.
Yeah, and just use the characters. Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm going to go on to this in a second. Let me. Is there any other points you want to talk about that? Because I've got a great transition point here.
I'm done with that.
Okay, cool. So moving on to, we're going to talk about Clash of Clans now, which is made by Supercell, which is basically the other huge mobile game phone company, corporate evil, blah de blah. And then the other one is King, which a bunch of my friends work at. I got a bunch of friends that work at King. Lovely people, but they're all such talented people, and I feel like so many of them don't get to like put their skills into use enough. I mean, that's kind of what happens in big companies. I mean, I understand that that's probably difficult to kind of, they can get all these great. It's the way it is, It's the same. We were talking about Hollywood the other day. They have all the great writers, yet they make them write, Superman 9 or some horseshit. Well, what's the fucking point? But that's kind of the kind of, that's the epitome of what intense capitalism will always be. It will always eventually ruin things. So that sadly is exactly what happens with these things. So, talking about Disney and Nintendo and all that shit, it's the same stuff. They got everyone that they could possibly think of, but they don't utilize that in an actual productive way. And that's kind of how capitalism actually works. It's not because all the money. It is because all the money's been accumulated somewhere, but is it actually as progressive as anything else? Anyway, whatever. Let's not get into politics. But this is I was using that as a transition, into this Clash of Clans game because it's being blocked, partially blocked in Iran for various set of reasons. At the moment, apparently, it's because they're worried about it causing kind of innate tribal conflict within like areas. Which is, completely bonkers as far as I'm concerned. And then it's going to have it has a negative effect on family life because teenagers get addicted to it. And so it's like, okay, all right, I understand that. That's probably actually completely true. So I think they're banning it more on a kind of social scale. It's not like they're like, oh, it's wrong, or they're like, they're banning it on a social scale, which is fucking crazy. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
It's a funny story. It's
exactly what you want to do with your life.
It's like it's just like people in government being like, hey, there's a game here, and it's making people think a certain way that we don't want them to think. So let's ban it.
It's madness, isn't it?
It's funny and also really depressing.
Oh, it's very, very bizarre. Well, apparently there's 100 million people playing this game every day, and about 63% of mobile gamers in Iran play Clash of Clans. Apparently, so I mean, I don't know how many people specifically.
So it says there, a government committee called for restrictions, citing a report from psychologists who said it can encourage violence and tribal conflict, which is like, okay. Well, it's like, what? This is still a Clash of Clans game. Violence and tribalism.
Madness. Madness.
That's crazy. It's a funny story, but it's also, I think in this, but in this day and age we live in, it's going to be harder and harder for governments to limit what their populations do because like everyone's connected.
Apparently they've managed to find an easy route around that problem.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
So,
and it's the same, like, in China, they're blocking certain web pages that they don't like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
horseshit. Well, anyway, guys, don't worry. Everything will work out for the best. I believe you have another story for us, Gonzolaz.
Yes, so continuing on Nintendo, got a Nintendo and mobile store here. Pokemon Go update seeks to revive interest. So did you play Pokemon Go?
I did try. For some reason, it would let me connect to the server. Maybe connect to the server. I'm wondering if maybe it was my government. You know,
it was David Cameron. No, Theresa May.
David Cameron's worried that I'm going to get violent.
Josh to play this Pokemon Go game.
You'll become violent.
Anyway, so they released in December. They released a major update to reinvigorate the game, because obviously after the summer the interest in Pokemon Go plummeted.
Yeah.
Which is not, and this is basically like the update is basically just new Pokemon that you can capture. It's like a roster update.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna. I don't think like that's not gonna. It's not gonna bring back. It's gonna bring back those crazy people who got like all the Pokemon. But it's not gonna bring back the majority. I think like a lot of people enjoy the game. First of all, because it's cool to like go around and capture Pokemon in the real world. It's fun, whatever. Cool, man.
It's a cool idea. Yeah, it's a cool idea.
But it's just like the game is there's so little to it other than that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people pointed this out, that it's basically just really shallow. And once you've done your thing, capture a couple of Pokemon, awesome. It's like there's not much.
It's a good idea though.
It's a good idea, and it's kind of sad because they could have done so much more with this.
Well, you can't fight Pokemon with each other, can you?
No, and there's no like.
Isn't that surely that's the update that should happen?
Yeah, I know. That's
you just go, cool, now I can fight people on the street, like physically in augmented reality with other. That's a great idea. I mean, it's perfect. I just assumed when this kind of came out and everyone was going crazy, I was like, I just assumed that was something that you could do. I mean, that just seems fucking obvious to me.
I thought the same thing. No, it's just capturing
it's a cool
them,
idea.
and you can.
Why are they doing that, man? Why are they doing it? That's how to revive it.
Yeah, there's like these gem mechanics and stuff, but it's very non-direct. There's some sort of fighting mechanic, but it's not like you can enjoy different gems and all that.
Imagine just both standing on either side, looking through it at your phone as they fight. I mean, but it's not. That's not that particularly. I don't know how particularly hard that is to do. I mean, it's a 3D model that gets put into one space. Both phones would just have to track both phones' position and understand that they're taking one. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, it's probably the technological challenge. But yeah. I think it says here that since in like a couple of months, people actively using Pokemon Go fell with 80%. But still, it
did amazing.
In the 3 first months, it generated $600 million.
Fucking hell.
Which is all right. It's okay. So it's a huge success. I hope to do more with this because it's a cool idea. They should do more with it, and but definitely just adding more Pokemon is not going to help.
Well, obviously, the biggest problem, if you were having a Pokemon Go fight, if it was possible to have a good one, would be people rage quitting and storming off in physical life. But talking about rage quitting, do you see that like a segue that?
Smooth transition there.
Smooth. Street Fighter V, apparently they're going to be shaming these rage quitters in a new update, which I don't know how good of an idea. I mean, people do that a lot. People do that a lot in fighting games. I've never really played enough of them online with people to ever have it as a problem, but I can see why it would be a problem if you're into that stuff. It'd probably be very, very annoying.
Yeah.
So essentially, they're going to be kind of showing a bit of your history. So if you've been rage quitting a lot, you can tell someone is, and you can be like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going to fight this person. So that's good to make people more conscious. I'm assuming that'll like go after a certain amount of time and or matches. If it was just matches and no one ever played with you, that'd be really shit. So it must be over time and the amount of matches you played or something like that. But it's a cool idea. I think hopefully it'll stop. It is annoying when people do that. It kind of makes the time you've spent playing it kind of pointless. So yeah, that's kind of it for today, guys.
Oh no, we're not. I still have one story.
Someone's still got something to say.
Still got something to say.
Oh, sorry, you've got your last. Yes, yeah. Sorry about this. Carry on.
Players divided on the 20th anniversary patch for Diablo 3. So patch 2.4.3 is coming out this week, I think. So this article was published earlier this week. Have you played Diablo 3?
I don't think I've really ever played any of the Diablos. I've played it a little bit at some point, but I've never played them through.
I really like. I didn't enjoy Diablo 3 when I got it for the PC. It had a lot of, or the Mac. It had a lot of issues, but I later on got it after a lot of updates from Blizzard. I got it for the PS4, and I ended up enjoying my time with it a lot. It's a really good game after a lot of patching and fixing. But anyway, in this patch, they've recreated all of Diablo 1 with Diablo 3 assets and remade the first game inside of Diablo 3. And you can go into this dungeon.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. A lot of people are angry because, and I kind of agree with this, because you can only enter this dungeon for the anniversary event, which lasts like a month.
Right.
So after that, it's gone, which is kind of shitty.
Oh no! Oh, that's crap.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe they'll release it later, so you have to buy it.
Maybe. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's so long since Diablo 3 came out, and they're still doing a lot of cool stuff with it. I have to say, Blizzard have been really good about updating this game. It's so much better now than it was when it initially came out. I don't know how you feel, but it could be a cool co-op. It's a co-op game.
Ooh. Oh, dude, yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, great.
Anyway, yeah, it's interesting to me the way they keep updating the game. And it's something that makes you want to go back, even though you're not giving them any more money, because there's not really all that much paid DLC. I believe there's a new character you can buy, which is paid DLC. That's fine.
Okay.
New character class. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll check that out then.
Stuff still going on with Diablo.
Thank you for joining us, guys, on our smooth morning radio show. If you like this, let us know, and we will keep doing them. And keep you updated on what's going on in the tech and gaming world. This is Sunday's Mood with Geronimo Gonzolaz.